What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I'll be previewing Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, Godzilla comes out on May 31st, 2019. So this is the third film in this series of films. Obviously, Godzilla back in 2014, Kong Skull Island in 2017, and now Godzilla, King of the Monsters, leading up to Godzilla vs. Kong, which releases actually next year. So I think that's going to be a really big film, a film that they've kind of been building to over the last two films. It was only after Godzilla did they confirm that this was kind of the shared universe between all these monsters, and that they're going to end up meeting in, obviously in our time right now, just next year. So that's really cool. Now, when it comes to this film, I have conflicting emotions about it. The first Godzilla movie, in my opinion, was an average film. I did not think it was an amazing film. And Kong, in my opinion, Kong really let me down. I think Kong was kind of a tale of two films where it kind of had just a lot of unnecessary parts to it, a lot of unnecessary characters in terms of humans, not enough of actual King Kong. And then when we did get to see him, it was really cool. They did have some really epic moments, and Godzilla had epic moments as well. And I hope, and I think, based off of all the trailers we've seen for this newest film, I think they're going to learn from their mistakes of the past. I know it's not the same people that made Kong and that made Godzilla, but even the first Godzilla movie, neither of these two films, the last two films, Godzilla and Kong, they were not, the perfect films. Okay, they had some problems to them, but they captured what I think a lot of people really want from these monster films in the current time. And I think with this film, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, they're really taking it up to an 11, which I really do like. I mean, again, people want to see the monsters, and the problem I had with Kong, and I know I keep bringing up Kong, and you're like, well, Alex, this is Godzilla. Well, it's the same thing, okay? Because when it comes to this movie, I think we want to see the monsters, okay? We're going to see some very signature monsters in the Godzilla universe that we have not seen for a very long time. So this is their chance to really show what they've got, okay? Because there's going to be some really awesome scenes. You can see from the trailers, it looks chaotic, okay? It looks like there's going to be a lot of action, a lot of destruction, and for the most part, I mean, the trailer does have a center on some humans for sure, but it really does revolve around Godzilla and all of the monsters and him battling and the humans kind of siding with Godzilla. That is what this trailer is all about, and I hope that is the theme of this movie, because it's a lot like Transformers, in my opinion. And I'm not Transformers is absolutely awful, okay? But one of the main problems with Transformers was the lack of time on the actual Transformers. We had a lot of time on the humans. They spent a lot of time focusing on the humans when the Transformers were the main part of the story. They're the things you go to a Transformers movie to see Optimus, to see Bumblebee, to see the actual Transformers. You don't go to see Sam Witwicky, okay? You don't do that. Same thing here. You don't go see Godzilla, King of the Monsters, to have Godzilla and, the monsters be in this film for 25 minutes and then the humans be in it for the other hour and a half. That is not why a single person is going to see this film. And so I really hope that they can remedy that by doing a good split. Yeah, we do need to see the humans. Yeah, I'm sure the humans are an integral part of this film, but at the same time, the movie's name is Godzilla. It was a major problem, I think, with the first Godzilla movie, even though it was reviewed well, and Kong was reviewed well too, but I thought Kong really amplified the problem, where it was just way too much on these characters that I do not care about. I don't think they were all that great, and they rarely showed Kong up until probably the ending. The last hour of the film definitely was a lot better, but it's because you showed the big, the actual reason I saw that film. You showed that thing, and that's obviously why the film increased in quality. So I think they're going to remedy it. I think the trailers of this movie, guys, look really cool. Look really, again, a ton of destruction, a ton of fun, and I think that, again, is why people are going to see this. You don't go see this because of the humans. You go see this because you want to see Godzilla fight these monsters. You want to see these monsters, these iconic monsters, for the first time in many years. That's why you're going to see this film. So, I think this film's going to do rather well. However, I do find it really interesting. I do like to look at box office numbers when it comes to these films. Box office-wise, these movies have kind of struggled in a way. There hasn't been all that great growth from one film to the other. Godzilla, the first Godzilla, made around a $52 million profit. Now that's a lot. When you hear $52 million, you definitely think that's a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, it needed like $400 million to break even, and it got like $500 million, and it actually needed more than 400 to break even at the end of the day. But you know, the film didn't make all that much more than it needed to break even, and even Kong only made around $100 million in, you know, actual profit. So these films, and even from the difference of Godzilla to Kong, they only made $30 million more on Kong than they did on Godzilla. So now Godzilla King of the Monsters, we'll have to see, like, can this film get more than $580 million? Can it make $600 million plus? You would think it has a lot of success overseas, but actually it's kind of split. It actually does make more money than most movies make in terms of the split between domestic and foreign. And so, you know, I think that's actually a little bit weird. You think overseas markets would really carry this film? It really doesn't as much as you would think. And this Godzilla movie is obviously trapped in a lot of films. You know, I was talking about it in all the other previews we've done. May is a busy month with Detective Pikachu, John Wick, Aladdin, Godzilla, and then we do have a little bit of a break. However, the next week, if you want to consider this, the next week is the final X-Men film, you know, Dark Phoenix. So will Dark Phoenix hurt it? I think Dark Phoenix is probably going to be a flop in a lot of ways, but I do think that could hurt it. So I'm going to be really interested to see how much money this can make, because again, it's all obviously leading to next year's film. This is what we've been building up to for the last 4-ish years. So I think a lot of people are very excited for that, but they need to, I think you need to know in the back of your head that these movies can drive a really high profit, and I don't think they've done necessarily as well as I think it could have done, and I don't really know the reason for that. Maybe it's competition, maybe overseas just aren't carrying it as much as I thought that they would, but I'm really interested to see Godzilla. I think it definitely looks awesome. It definitely looks like a step up from the first Godzilla. It definitely, I mean, it triple looks like a step up from Kong, so I'm pretty excited for this film. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Godzilla King of the Monsters? You guys gonna see it? What do you think about Kong? What did you think about Godzilla, the first, you know, the 2014 film? Let me know, and make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and thank you as always for watching this movie preview, and I hope to see you on the next one.